Moving right along on our tools panel is the shapes tool. Okay, now the shape tool is absolutely essential for you to understand and know how it works because we use it for a ton of different things. Okay, so, sorry, did I just blow your ears out? Sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. If you click on this guy, you're going to see a bunch of different options. Okay, rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, line tool, and the shapes custom shape tool. Okay, I'm going to click on the custom shape tool so you understand what that is. Every time you touch something on the tools panel, you're going to get a bunch of options on this bar right here, and there's more things than we could ever talk about, but one of the key things with the custom shapes is this guy right here. Photoshop gives you a ton of really cool shapes that you can use, and you know, you can also go online and find custom shapes. There are millions of different shapes out there you can use. You know, say for example you just want to use a talking bubble, blarch, there you go, right there. If you want to find whatever you want, a checkbox, boom, there it is. If you want a, I don't even know, a magnifying glass. I use that all the time for search fields on websites. Boom, there you go. Now you're going to notice something about these guys. They all have anchor points all over them. See all these dots? That means what? That you can edit it. It's a vector graphic. Okay, so let's go over here and grab this anchor point and see what happens. Oh, yeah, you can edit that. Now, why did that happen? Can you do raster graphics as shapes? Of course you can. So let's start over. Let's get rid of these guys. And I'm going to talk about another subject now that we've gone through that. I want to talk about how the two ways that you're going to create a shape. One is going to be vector, boom, and one is going to be raster, boom. And they both work for two different things. Now I'll just delete these so you can see what I do, okay, just to create these. I'm just going to go here and I'll do a circle, okay, another circle. I know you're tired of circles, but, you know, what do you want? Up here is very important for how you make your shape. You can either make a shape that's a shape, or you might as well call shape vector, okay? Shape means that you're going to create a vector, and here is the color information. Basically, this is taken from Adobe Illustrator. It works just like Illustrator, okay? So I'm going to create a shape. I'm going to draw that in. And now we've got a circle with this little box in the corner, and that means it's a vector. It means that it's created by geometry, as we learned before. So you can take that and you can edit that. You can start making it into, don't show again, I don't want to see that, okay. You can start editing that shape into whatever you want it to. Or you can take that circle, do the same circle, but this time draw it as pixels. Okay, and if you do it as pixels, you actually have to create your layer, an empty layer, and draw it into that. And this is created by pixels, okay? If you make it small and then you make it big again, it's going to look terrible because that's a raster image, a rasta image, as we call it. And if you make this really, really big, it's going to start looking ugly. Whereas if you can change the size on this, you know, talking about non-destructive, you can do vectors as big or as small or do whatever you want to with them, and they will always maintain their shape. They'll always be perfectly crisp because they're not made by dots, okay? Now before I talk about vector shapes, which is going to be a larger topic, I want to talk for a second about why would you ever want to create a raster shape. And the only real reason that I ever use shapes in rasters is if I'm going to use shapes in the alpha channel. So let me click on my alpha channel here, and we can see we got our black and our white again, and I'm going to create an alpha circle that crosses here. So now we can see on this alpha channel, looks kind of like a little Pac-Man. So I'm drawing on here. What if I go up here and click shape and I try to draw into the alpha channel? Well, it just creates a shape. I can't draw in there. So if you want to draw a shape that's going to work on an alpha channel, it needs to be raster, okay? There's another option over here that I'm not going to go into yet because it's a little more advanced, okay? And that's a way to use vectors, but don't worry about it. It doesn't matter, okay? Now, I want to end this talking about vector shapes. Vector shapes are extremely powerful, and I want to show you just one of the really quick things you can do with them in order to manipulate them. Usually when you're working with vector shapes, The secret of a lot of logo designers is you're tracing things and you're creating shapes out of multiple shapes, okay? So let's say, for example, I want to create some sort of weird logo out of here, and I want to take out part of this image, and I want to make it transparent. Now, one way to do it is, of course, to put an alpha channel and just to start drawing on it, and that'll make it disappear. But that is not going to create a shape that is a vector shape, okay? The better way to do that is to take this shape and to start creating another shape on top of it that either adds to it or takes away from it. And let me explain what I'm talking about. Let's say I want to have a circle inside of this that's transparent as part of a logo. I don't know why, but just for whatever reason. Now, when I put, you see the little cross that I've got in the middle. If I click Alt, a little negative subtraction arrow thing is going to appear. Now, whatever I draw with the circle is going to subtract. Look at my layer here. Everything that I'm drawing with the negative vector shape is subtracting from that, okay? And they're still editable. If I want to move those little circles, I can grab them and I can edit them. Or if I want to grab the whole shape, I can go over here, click the black shape tool, and I can move it around. Isn't that cool? Now, this has a billion different uses, and we'll get more into that maybe with one of the advanced classes. But this is absolutely key. Another thing you can do is, if I want to just delete these, I can delete these. And if I'm going to see if you guys are following this, if this is too hard, or if you're following it, and I'll create some more tutorials to explain this a little bit better if it's not clear. Okay, just let me know in the comments. You can also add to the image if you want to. And you can add anything. You can go, let's go down to the custom shapes. And if you want to add I don't know, let's go crazy. Let's put a car, okay? If you want to add a car. So now I'm going to click Shift, and I'm going to add a car. And now those two items come together here. But they're still editable, okay? So if I want to, I can just go in, grab that car, and move it around. And they're part of the same shape, okay? You can click a button over here and make them combine all of a sudden. Or you can just move the whole thing around if this is like moving the layer, okay? Or you can take that same car and click Alt and subtract it from the thing. See? There we go. I think my computer just had a heart attack. And then you can go back over here again and click that. And this is super powerful. This is actually fairly new in Photoshop, and this is advanced stuff, but I wanted to show you because it's not brain surgery, whatever, nuclear science. It's actually fairly easy to understand. And so that you understand that this is actually transparent, I'm going to draw something underneath it so you can see. Let's just put a yellow layer underneath so you can see. This is transparent, okay? Let's move this around. This is all transparent. It's not just drawing white on top of it. All right, I'm going to stop there because I've said too much already.